Alexandria Isak has gone ahead to be shortlisted by Arsenal, long wanted by Arsenal. They failed to land him in the January transfer window of 2022, and in the summer he went to Newcastle after Arsenal settled in for Gabriel Jesus. But it looks like it's high time they went and obviously got back something they obviously went ahead, obviously wanted way back. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name and hope you guys are really having fun. And let's obviously go to these stories. Ollie Watkins has come out and obviously quenched his thirst, all poured out his thirst for representing England at the Euros, and the Portuguese national team has gone ahead obviously released close to 7 players from this team that went ahead to play yesterday and put 5 past the side of Sweden, where Gyökeres, one of those people that Arsenal really wants, and even Alexandra Isak, we are really playing to that game of football, and they failed to obviously showcase. At the look of that team, you felt like Isak, Kulusevski, Gyökeres, and Elanga. That was the front four. You expected a lot, of attacks coming in through from the side of Sweden, but Sweden really looked very, very, very weak into the mix, and they couldn't obviously match the levels of Portugal. So we thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims have just gone ahead to bypass a mosque. I live near a mosque, and sometimes you really hear the adhans into this microphone because I live near a mosque. I've seen the parking really packed up, and it was really a very fantastic time for them to obviously do what we call a gathering at 9 p.m. in my country. And Ramadan Mubarak to the Muslims. The Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living true God bless you abundantly. And this is Rokani David. You can as well call me Aradi. Let's see close to 500 likes marking this video. I know in 2022 when I was doing these stories linking Alexandra Isak to Arsenal, I saw a lot of people coming in through and getting us love. These videos were hugely viewed, and Alexandra Isak being put into that ilk to join the club of Arsenal, it's really something important for us to come out and really capitalize onto this beautiful YouTube channel of ours. Now, Isak is really young, very young player, and at his age, he has gone ahead to do a lot of things. And who really went ahead to break the story of this 24-year-old player that is a Swede international? It was the Football Insider. They came out and really told us that Newcastle striker Alexandra Isak is on Arsenal's transfer list, short list, as they aim to bring in a forward during the summer. So he has gone ahead to make it to the short list. Doesn't mean that they've gone ahead to decide to obviously sign him, but he's on the short list of Arsenal. And then later went ahead to get a story coming in through from Now Arsenal, confirming us that Arsenal have made Newcastle striker Alexandra Isak the club's number 1 target, attacking target this summer. Arsenal and especially Mikel Arteta have been admirers of Isak since he moved to Spain in 2019. Isak's current contract with the Magpies runs until 2028, which makes it a very difficult deal for Arsenal to pull off this summer, but that won't stop them from really trying. So Arsenal have gone ahead to make him a priority, and he's among the strikers that Arsenal really needs. But when I'm talking Alexandra Isak, I'm talking a player who has come out and stamped his foot hugely into the Premier League. Let me read to you his stats. Last season, 22 games and scored 10 goals, and he had 1 assist. And this season has gone ahead to score 12 goals in 20 games, meaning that he has already gone ahead to surpass the number of goals he scored last season in 22 games. And he has gone ahead to play 20 games and is having 12 goals. That is Alexandra Isak for you. In the Champions League, 5 games and 1 goal. That is him for you. EFL Cup, 1 game played and he had 1 goal, meaning that so far he has 14 goals this season, and he's really doing wonders for the side of Newcastle. He has gone ahead to make close to 24 appearances, and he has a total of 24 goals scored for the side of Newcastle. And if at all you are a novice into the league like the Premier League, that is really a very good contribution and his GX is really great for this player. So if I'm to dig deep into these transfers of Isak, it's not the first time Arsenal is being linked to Isak. That is it. When he was at Real Sociedad, he was linked to Arsenal in the summer of 2021. you know. Then in the winter transfer window of 2022, that is from 1st January to January 31st, he was linked to Arsenal heavily because Arsenal had decided to part ways with their captain, that is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, whom they really even had to put on £7 million to see to it that he joined the side of Barcelona. Then Arsenal was targeting 2 strikers. Remember, there was Vlahovic and there was Alexander Isak, and their number 1 centre forward by then was Vlahovic, and Vlahovic snapped them and went to the side of Juventus because Juventus was playing in the Champions League. And you see how things really change. In 2022 season, Arsenal wasn't playing the Champions League and Juventus was playing the Champions League. But guess what? Arsenal returned in the Champions League in the season of 2022-2023, and Juventus is out of action, and Arsenal are in the quarterfinals. They're going to play the side of Bayern Munich, something that Vlahovic might be sitting there and asking himself, did I really make a right decision? Of which I think he did go ahead to make a right one, according to me, because if you looked at what Arsenal was building, Vlahovic would have been very pivotal to the side of Arsenal. But Vlahovic snapped them and went to the side of Juventus, and Isak was like, this team doesn't want me. Even Arsenal said, after failing to bring in Vlahovic, we are not going to obviously fidget to bring in a new centre forward. Let's obviously rely to Lacazette, who was by then their only forward, and Edin Ketia. So the season ended, Lacazette went, and Arsenal went ahead to bring in Gabriel Jesus. And when Gabriel Jesus crossed to Arsenal, immediately Alexander Isak crossed to the side of Newcastle, and he has been a revelation. I tell you, he has been a revelation, and I've gone ahead to obviously love every bit that Alexander Isak has gone ahead to produce at the side of Newcastle. Even Gabriel Jesus has been a revelation at Arsenal because he offers something different, and I've always gone ahead and really said that people call it a repetition. Jesus just needs to get chances. Get him chances, he will score you goals. But when you look at Alexander Isak, I think the reason as to why Arsenal might really look at him as a player to sign ahead of Gyökeres, though even Gyökeres is really very important into this beautiful game of football at Arsenal, is he's a Premier League proven player. And I have a weak spot, or a soft spot for players who play like Alexander Isak. If a player has a very good skill set, press resistant, and he can play in 1, 2, 3 positions of the pitch, I just love that player. Isak can play as a center forward. He can play as a left forward. He can play even behind a center forward, like he did yesterday when he's playing alongside Gyökeres as they lost to Portugal by 5-1. So he can even play as a right forward. He can play almost every forward position onto the pitch. That makes him a special player. And in the modern era, you'd obviously want to have versatile players. Look at how the versatility of Kai Havertz has gonna help Arsenal. He has played as a centre forward when Jesus has been away. He has gone ahead to produce moments of pure quality as a player. So I think that's the number one advantage that Arsenal are really looking at to sign Alexander Isak, because versatility has gone ahead to help them very many times. Even when they were playing in the recent games, ever since this year started, they had injuries of Gabriel. They had injuries of Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and Julian Timber in the left back position, and they're left with only one player that is left-footed. And because of his versatility, he came in through and really played on the left back. Yet he can also be played as a right-sided centre back or a left-sided centre back. He can also play in the midfield. That is Jakub Kiwior for you. He is a very talented player, and we're going to hate to say it that versatility is going to help Arsenal. Look at Leandro Trossard, how his versatility helped Arsenal last season, because he came up and really created 10 assists, in the last 6 months of the season, And when you look at this other guy, Jesus is also versatile, Declan Rice, and you look at the team, Tomiyasu and very many others. So versatility is one of those moments that you'll ever want to look at and really understand that the manager is really so much drunk in love with Alexander Isak to come in and join the side of Arsenal. And I really love the player. I think if they get him in, it will be a very good addition to the side of Arsenal. And what a way to really up or influx the competition between Gabriel Jesus and Edin Ketia. Because if you take out Edin Ketia and you bring in Alexander Isak to play the side of Arsenal, to play alongside or to compete with this guy, it's 100% one of those decisions that are really good. But we also have a different decision altogether, that Arsenal might even go for Gyökeres. So looks like Arsenal are keeping their tabs onto a new number 9, and it's going to be a Swede, either Gyökeres or Alexander Isak, though the rumors of Victor Osimhen keep lingering around, but we can't wait to see who Arsenal is going to be looking at and who they are really targeting this summer transfer window. So that is Alexander Isak for you. He's a very good player, and Arsenal are really in need of him. So we wait and see how that happens. But before I sum out this story of Alexander Isak, the question is, are Newcastle willing to sell? Guys, Newcastle are really having very huge problems, you know. They don't want to violate the FFP. What would have gone ahead to solve them or to help them a little bit was their progress through to the Champions League round of 16, all else to go in the UEFA Europa League, but they never made it to any of those destinations, and they're really having problems in money, meaning that Bruno Guimaraes, who is wanted by Barcelona and Man City, Alexander Isak, who is wanted by Arsenal, they might see two of those players leave to obviously get in more money, to really get in more and more and more players, because as it stands, Newcastle is vulnerable and they need to sell players to obviously get in more and more and more and more of the players they need. So let's leave that at that, and let's obviously get to the Ollie Watkins story. Ollie Watkins is training with the English national team. He has gone ahead to score 16 goals in the Premier League with 10 assists. The man is really on fire. He's in flying form, and he has gone ahead to come out and really tell us that I've played Premier League football for a number of years now. I missed out on the last Euros squad because it was my first season in the Premier League. I'm scoring, I'm established, so it's down to the manager if he wants to pick me. Earlier, if at all you watched my video, where I came out and told you that, how the club of Arsenal, how the national team of England has gone ahead to gate themselves one of the players that I really look at and really understand that he is even better than Harry Kane. All he needs is simple. What does he need? All what they need is Ollie Watkins to be given a chance. With Harry Kane out tomorrow as they're playing Brazil, Ollie Watkins needs to be given a chance. He needs to be given a chance. And what's that chance? The chance is simple. Let him start into that game of football, and he's going to prove to the manager. I think he's the best center forward alive. You know, if we're talking about a complete number 9, Ollie Watkins is one of those, and I think he's going to go to the Euros and he's going to make a very huge statement when he reaches there. No one is going to stop him from really thriving and becoming the player that he wants, and it's all about the manager to really pick him. But I think for him, it's a given that he's going to travel with the English national team to Germany to play in the Euros, unless otherwise he really gets injured. But if he's really fully fit, there is no way they're going to leave him behind, because he's just 4 goals away from hitting 20 goals in the Premier League. And we all know how this the team of England is going to hate to pick very many people when they score 20 goals. And you saw Ivan Toney going to the World Cup because of his blistering form he was in. And it looks like this time around, if they are to take 3 center forwards, all 4, it's Harry Kane, Ollie Watkins, the understudy, Ivan Toney, and maybe Callum Wilson. And that is it. So for Ollie Watkins, I just love the player, and I think if he wants to overtake Harry Kane in that position, all he needs is to go to a more big team bigger than Aston Villa, because however much Aston Villa is doing good, but it doesn't really have pundits that can really make the noise. And that is it. We need to hear that hullabaloo or that hullabaloo of Ollie Watkins starting ahead of Rokani, because that's what you get when you're playing for teams like Man United, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea, because their fans will obviously plead for you to come in through and really play a very huge part into the Euros. So it's time up for Harry Kane. I think there is a new number 9 in town. That is there is a new number 9 in town, and that is none other than Ollie Watkins. I love the player. I'm madly in love with him, and I love everything that he does. And I just can't wait to watch that game, And the predicted lineup is coming in next, of England versus Brazil. I'm going to really talk a little bit about that fixture and see how things are really going to pan out. Yesterday, Portugal went ahead to really annihilate the side of Sweden of Alexander Isak by 5-1. It was yesterday, and they went ahead to really beat Sweden badly, and I was really shocked that they could obviously put them to that sword. I thought Portugal would win, but they wouldn't obviously go that far, you understand? But they went ahead to beat them by 5-2, and guess who was on target for Portugal? Rafael Leão in the 24th minute, Matheus Nunes 33rd minute, then Bruno Fernandes 45th minute, Bruma 57th minute, and Goncalo Ramos in the 61st minute. Bruno scored a goal and put up an assist, but for me the best goal of the day came in from Rafael Leão. And Sweden, Victor Gyökeres 58th minute, he pulled one back to make it 4-1, and Gustafsson Hickson went ahead to score a second goal to make it 5-2 in favor of Portugal. So after Portugal coming out and really putting out that orchestration or exhibition, guess what happened? Ruben Diaz and Bernado Silva have left the Portugal national team camp along with 6 other members of Roberto Martinez's initial 32-man squad, and will play no part in their final friendly game against Slovenia. Now, why have they gone ahead to do this? Simple. These players have gone ahead to be playing very many games, and all you need to do is that let them play one game and they go back, because their teams are really competing for lots and lots of trophies. Because Bernardo Silva and Ruben Diaz, I think it's their request to see to it that they really get back to the side of Man City to prepare for the trophy. And what message does this send to Arsenal? It sends you a message that you shouldn't see your other players play 2 games, because these are just friendlies and they should be really brought back home to do the needful. These 2 play for Man City, and they're really back in Manchester to rest and really get ready for the side of Arsenal. They know how big this game is. That is why they've gone ahead to offload these 2 players, all 6, but 2 in particular, Bernardo Silva and Ruben Diaz, to come in through and really do their job and rest. Now, they're going to rest for like some 2-3 days. They join the Man City team to train ahead of this fixture of Arsenal. So we just can't wait to see how these 2 are really going to react into that game of Arsenal and Man City. But it shows you how seriously Pep Guardiola needs this win. He badly needs it. He's working hard to get it, and no one is going to stop him from really getting this win that he has gone ahead to really work in for a very long period of time possible. So that is all about Portugal and Ruben Diaz charged for Arsenal. They've gone ahead to get charged for Arsenal and Bernardo Silva. So we go into your thoughts. What do you make about Alexander Isak shortlisted by Arsenal? Do you think he should be signed ahead of Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, Vlahovic, name it? Then tell me your thoughts about Man City receiving 2 players from Portugal. They've gone ahead to play 1 game, that is Ruben Diaz and Bernardo Silva. Do you think it's all about how serious Arsenal are to really get in the player called, so to really see themselves get a win against the side of Arsenal? And lastly, Ollie Watkins, do you think he can overtake Harry Kane when it comes to him leading the line for the side of the England national team in the Euros? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. Don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 20,200 subscribers. And let's close to 500 likes more than this video because I know you guys love Alexandra Isak. Ramadan Kareem. Cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. We out.